The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. There was once a little brown country mouse who lived in a quiet village. His name was Pippin, and he made his home in a hedge. In spring, he snoozed in the sunshine and listened to the birds sing. In summer, he nibbled on juicy wild strawberries and sweet green leaves. Then he scampered around gathering food and cutting grass to make warm bedding for the frosty months ahead. When the weather grew colder and the leaves turned gold, Pippin stayed snugly inside his home in the hedge. One chilly day, he was sitting by the fire when he heard a tap, tap, tap at the door. "Hello," called a voice. "Pippin, are you there?" Pippin raced to the door and flung it open. It was his cousin, Toby Town Mouse. "Surprise!" said Toby with a big grin on his face. "I've come for a visit. Come in, said Pippin. "First things first," said Pippin. "Let me get you a comfy seat." And he made Toby a seat from soft, squashy moss. "Don't you have any chairs?" said Toby Town Mouse, springing up. "This moss is far too damp." Pippin sighed and took Toby for a walk instead. But he complained the walk hold hard. He was cold, it was muddy, and the flowers made him sneeze. That night, Pippin went to his food store to prepare supper. "We'll have a feast," he said, picking out his crunchiest nuts and the squashiest berries. "It's not every day I have a visitor." "Ugh," said Toby Town Mouse. "I hate nuts." "Is this all you have to eat? In town, we dine like kings." "Really?" asked Pippin. He couldn't imagine kings had better food than nuts and berries. "Why not come and see for yourself?" said Toby. "The country is horrible," he went on. "Believe me, once you've been to town, you never want to live in this cold, muddy place again." The next day, Pippin woke at dawn. He rubbed his eyes sleepily. Today he would see the town for himself. Toby had a big stretch. "Come on," he said. "We had a train to catch." Pippin ate a quick breakfast of berries. "No toast?" said Toby, and they hurried to the station. Soon they heard the rattle-tattle of pebbles jumping on the railway line. It was followed by the chugging and puffing of a gleaming steam station. "Here's the train," cried Pippin. "Oh, my cheese and whiskers, it's huge." The train came to a stop. Alongside the platform was a screech and snort. "Quick," ordered Toby. "Jump in that green bag." A boy picked up the green backpack and stepped up into the train. Pippin and Toby clung on tightly as they swung around a board. The train gave a shake and snort. They were off. Pippin looked out of the window excitedly. At first, they passed fields and groves of trees being blown sideways by the wind. The train rumbled on. After a while, there were no trees at all, just tall buildings and chimneys reaching to the sky. As the sky grew dark, the train stopped at last. Toby sat up. He twitched his whiskers and sniffed the air. "We're here," he said with a squeak. "I'm in town again. Home sweet home." "Now follow me." Toby leaped onto the train platform. "Be quick, Pippin," he called, "but watch out for all the feet." The mice ran across the forecourt, out of the station and onto a very busy street. Giant shoes thundered down around them. Pippin gasped. Out of the street there was so much noise, and all at once, more noise than he had ever heard in his life. People shouted, cars zoomed, horns beeped. It was a cacophony of chaos, and the smells. Pippin sniffed burned sausage and caused on his smoky fumes from the car. "Beep, beep! Out of my way!" Ding-a-ling-ling, room. Toby stopped at the front step of a grand building. "Welcome to my house," he said, proudly pointing his paw. Ignoring the blue front door, he beckoned to Pippin and led him through a small hole and a brick on the side. Following Toby, Pippin ran down dimly lit corridors under the floor and up secret staircases behind the walls. They spun and twirled around the empty ballroom. Toot toot, and played with toys in the children's nursery. Toby's stomach gave a growl. "Raise you to the dining room," he shouted. "It's time for a real feast." The mice scrambled up the tablecloth and began to enjoy some leftovers. They nibbled on gooseberry pie. They licked up on clotted cream. Toby ate his way through the cheese, while Pippin dipped his paw in chocolate sauce. "Ah," said Toby, "I'm nearly full." "Hick!" Pippin clutched his tummy. "I think I'm going to be sick," he moaned. Suddenly, the table shook. The tablecloth shifted underneath them. Toby jumped from his dinner plate and ran to grab Pippin by the paw. "It's a cat!" he cried. "Run!" The cat's face peered over the top of the table. "Hello," he purred, licking her lips. "My dinner time, I think." Pippin was frozen in fear, transfixed by the cat's fierce claws, her sharp teeth, and pointed pink tongue. "Come on," said Toby, dragging her away. They darted this way and that in their panic. The hungry cat pounced. She knocked over the chocolate sauce, sending it crashing to the floor. "Pippin!" Toby screamed. "Into this hole!" Pippin ran. The cat leaped. She swiped at Pippin with her claws outstretched, and Pippin threw himself over the edge of the table. Even though he was so full, it hurt to move. Pippin tore to the hole and followed Toby outside. The cat spat in disgust. As Pippin's tail disappeared into the hole. She gave one last wipe with her paw, but it was no good. "Drat! Missed!" he hissed. Pippin dropped to the floor. "Oh, cousin," he gasped. "That was horrible. I want to go home." "You can't leave yet," said Toby. "Besides, you'll feel better after a good night's sleep. Just wait until you try my feather bed." On the next morning, Pippin was still determined to leave. The town was noisy, smelly, and dangerous. He didn't even want to wait long enough for Toby to get up, so Toby gave him a map. "Goodbye," said Pippin. "Thank you for having me. I'm going home." Pippin thought as he ran down the street. Home! He cried, dancing in and out of the stamping feet. He hid in the back to board the train and then gazed out of the window, willing the buildings to become trees. It was very dark. Pippin finally reached his hedge. The only sound was the quiet hooting of an owl. Home, sweet home! He sniffed the sweet cold air and smiled. Then he raced to his home in the hedge. That night he smiled again. He snuggled down in his warm hay bed. This is the life for me, he said. The end.